It is 12:22, June 13th, June 14th, Sunday, 2026. Um, I'm 18 years old right now. Um, but I've been thinking a lot, like, because honestly, things are like I'm in like a weird place in my life right now. I'm actually moving. The posters are still up, but everything else is gone. Right, like the shelf is like empty. Right, um, but I've been really distracted. I'm trying to like recenter, and like while I'm thinking about that, like I'm like trying to like refocus. I'm like trying to remember like what was it that I wanted the most. Like what do I want with all the time and energy and um, it's just like I don't know, with everything I have, with everything I can use. What do I want the most? What I want to get the most? What I want to work for the most? Two things. In my life, I want to become a successful musician, and I want to write comics. Yeah, the music thing is kind of it's a new thing. I never really honestly ever saw that coming. There were parts of me that wanted to, and I I always wanted to be I always wanted to be famous, but like I think that's like everyone mostly. But you know, it was only like recently where I realized like, oh, I could seriously do this. Like if I wanted to. Like if I it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna be 25 when things start like actually getting good. But like it, like I don't even mean like monetarily. I mean like my music is gonna start getting good when I'm 25. I'm 18 right now. I'm gonna work my ass off making shit music for like 6 or 7 years, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that, um, because I want it, and I can do it. You know, um, you know. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to win awards. I want to win Grammys or something. And I want to be great. I want to be like world renowned. What and sometimes I'm just like, hey, I just want to have a decent audience. Like, I want to be in the space, and I want to make enough money to live comfortably. You know, um, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna work my ass off. I'm gonna do it, um, because I can, and I will, and I don't know. Like it's just like it's simple as that. It's just I can. With the comic book thing, it's like see with music, it's like if you look at the years of my life from like my birth to now, it's like you wouldn't really like a musician wouldn't be like the first thing you think of like as like this is what this guy is going to do, you know. But with comic books, it's like yeah, that makes sense. Like my whole life, in one way or another, like in one form or another, I've always been into like comic books or comic booky things. So this is more like with music, it's like I feel like I'm working against fate or destiny to make that happen. But with comic books, it feels like this is my fate. Like this is my destiny. Like it is. I don't know. Like I just know it's gonna happen. I know like I'm gonna work hard for it, right? And I'm gonna fail a lot. I'm gonna get rejected a lot, but I'm gonna get where I want to be eventually. And that's just like such a given. It's just like when I think about that, I just get so excited. It's like because I know it's gonna happen. Like, I don't know what else to say. Um, and I see people like Tom King who my my perception of where he is right now, like how I see him is like he's gotten to a point in his career where he has um, gained the trust of DC Comics to do cool things. with the characters that aren't necessarily in continuity, that maybe aren't even necessarily gonna sell well, you know. And he does the story he wants to tell for 8 or 12 or like, yeah, usually like 8 or 12 issues, you know. And that's that, you know. And it's just like, hey, here's like the Human Target was fantastic, right? But like, who's gonna read the Human Target? Who's gonna read Mr. Miracle? Who's gonna read? I mean, like, I know that they're like pretty, like they have an audience, but like you gotta have a certain level of trust to like to do that, you know. So I want to get to a point where, you know, obviously I want to have my indie stuff as well. Kieran Gillen is so cool. I actually just bought the Wictive Compendium. I'm super excited about that. But you know, I want to get to a point where I'm just like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if like Martian Manhunter and freaking like I don't know, like Max Mercury, if that's his name, like they have this team up, but it's in like a pulpy cyberpunk music infused like whatever the fuck, you know? And I do that for like 10 issues. And then, you know, um, things like that. Or, you know, I don't know if I'm really built for the like super like mainstream monthly comic thing. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do that, but I don't think that's where I want to be. Like that would be a stepping stone to where I want to get, you know. And I do have kind of a plan of how I want things to work out. I'll keep that to myself because it's kind of stupid. But this whole thing is kind of stupid, so it's okay. Um, and you know, I'm gonna be going to law school as well, and I really want to stay fit and like active physically. So it's gonna be hard to do everything, and there are gonna be some times where I have to focus on one thing and you know like de-emphasize another thing and whatever. And there are gonna be times where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And there are gonna be times where I fuck up really, really bad, or I fail really bad, or I think this is the end of the line, or I think maybe I was wrong, maybe I'm not destined for this, or maybe I can't fight fate. But I don't care. I don't care. Because I have so much time still. And even then, whenever I fuck up or fail, or lose, or get proven wrong, I will still have so much time. And yeah, I'm gonna do that shit. Mark my words. In 50 years, I'm gonna be like 68, and I'm gonna look back and be like, hell yeah, I did that shit. And I was 18 years old, 50 years ago, and I had green fucking hair, and I told myself that I'd do that shit.